watching a video here on YouTube about the British troops. It's it's the right time for British troops to leave South Sudan in Africa.
It's coming to the end of Operation Trenton 6, but before they head back, the troops are marking the UN's Day of the African Child by inviting South Sudanese children onto the UK camp. The day is all about allowing children to be children, despite the conflict and violence they've seen, and as well as volleyball and welly-wanging, our cameras also attracted some attention.
When you first took up, we were very sort of looking at me, and then when you go Malay in our language, they instantly burst into smiles, which is one of the bigger things.
The end of the deployment is marked with a medals parade. 2 more engineering units will follow 3 9 engineers, but in March 2020, the whole operation will come to an end and British troops will leave South Sudan.
I'm sad that they are leaving. I've just said up front, I would have wished for them to have stayed longer, as you would understand that the particular expertise that they are bringing is something that we don't obviously have. Having an engineering capability in the youngest country of the world, where you don't have roads or construction or any of these things, is a massively important aspect.
Makes you think about the world, guys, and sometimes the world can be a horrible place, but there was war in Sudan, in Africa, but now the troops are coming back soon. Not just yet, but they will be, the British troops.
Leaving food security and the protection of the UN behind. Many have little incentive to go, and as the country enters the rainy season, roads turn to rivers, all movement stops, and no one knows if the peace agreement will last through this. Ambassador Chris Trott says no one will be forced to leave.
Nobody can expect them to move unless they want to, unless they choose to, and unless we can support them when they move. And at the moment, I don't think the conditions are right. So we're very keen to see them effectively stay in the POCs while the situation is insecure, and at a point when we're confident and they're confident that we can continue to help them, then for them to go home. You always come away with a sense that surely there is something more that we could be doing, but realistically we are doing absolutely everything we can.
Numbers in the camps had started to fall, but with the troubles in Sudan, many people from across the border are now fleeing south for safety. There are still many who need help, and these huge camps, some home to over 100,000 people, look set to stay. So is it really time for British troops to leave?
The decisions on whether they leave or not are made in London, not here in Juba. I would really like them to be here as long as they can be. But we were very clear when Trenton was set up. It was a 3-year deployment. That's what the UN asked for. That's what we committed to. They will have been here for, so that we will have put in an extra year here. But I think that was appropriate in order for them to complete the tasks that we had envisaged. But actually, what we've done is we've now plugged ourselves back in to the UN peacekeeping system. And actually, there are peacekeeping missions elsewhere in the world. And I have to recognize that decisions will be made in London about whether actually it's better for them to be here or for a different type of peacekeeping support to be offered elsewhere in Africa to other peacekeeping missions. So what I really hope we can focus is on maintaining our support to the UN, whether it's here or elsewhere. And I hope that we will leave South Sudan with a real sense of pride that we made a commitment, we came, we delivered on that commitment, and we left in good order at the time that we said we would.
For the engineers and infantrymen, medics, police and logistics specialists, this has been a rare opportunity to wear a light blue beret and work alongside nations from all over the world on a truly humanitarian mission.
I'm glad I came here. I wouldn't change coming here. It's been a bit of a reality check, and I won't take anything for granted again. That's for sure.
It's something that's going to stay within you, isn't it? Throughout your career. For us, it's something to cherish life, because we don't know what will hit us.
There's so much potential It just needs a little bit of help to get itself back in the right place to be able to exploit that potential. But there's definitely hope. I think this is a little bit of a success story with the
There's
security
a barbed
situation
wire
as
up there,
it
guys.
is. And the work that the UN is doing to help the government get itself back on its feet and sort out some of the differences that they have.
With oil resources and incredibly fertile soils, South Sudan could be a flourishing, not a failed state. All are hoping the relative calm will continue and allow the world's youngest country to go from strength to strength.
Well, guys, that was a very interesting video about South Sudan, Africa. I mean, hopefully the war's going to finish in Africa and South Sudan. I mean, I don't know if the whole of Africa is going to be at war or some parts are. So this is just a... I'm trying to think now. If there's anything else I can show on here. This has happened 30 minutes ago. Many killed in an airstrike in Rebels, Syria town. So this is an airstrike in Syria, Rebels town. So the world's getting a worse place, as you guys can see. We can see it in the news every day. See, look. May killed in an airstrike of Rebels, Syria. Sky News.
Cries of joy and relief.
People wish the war would stop in the world. Some people start the wars. People just want to live a peaceful life and enjoy life. They're not getting into conflict and wars and be happy. But sometimes it's not the case. It's just a shame, really. It's quite sad sometimes.
Now the rescuers turn their attention to her. She seems unconscious, but she too has survived. They rush her off to what medical help there is. They're both now recovering in intensive care. This was market day in Maritime Human, and many of the dead and injured were women and children.
This is the result of your apathy. This is the United States apathy towards the Syrian situation. We are getting shelled every day. We are getting killed every day. Mr. Trump, please, please stop
Among
this.
those who witnessed this massacre was an American Syrian teacher. We talked to her hours later via Skype.
I'll never forget the kid with his stomach out. I will never ever forget the moment where I was trying to jump over.
She's in a lot of pain, as you guys can see. She's sick of the wars.
And then he ended up dying. That's why I said I couldn't think of anybody else to call out except Mr. Trump because he's my president. I can't think of anybody stronger than him and more capable than him to stop this. That's why I was calling for him. I should have called for God. I don't know who to call on anymore.
This is a marked escalation in the crisis, with intensive airstrikes by Russian jets backing up Syrian regime troops. We witnessed ourselves how the regime is targeting journalists and civilians.
This is how real it gets, guys.
And the Russians and Syrian regime is also hitting hospitals, another war crime.
There's another explosion.
The area is dominated by militants once linked to Al-Qaeda and multiple jihadist groups, but also millions of civilians who've resisted the Syrian regime or fled other areas which have been attacked. And it is they who are suffering. Alex Crawford, Sky News.
Well, the world we're living in is getting ridiculous. Most of you guys have seen the thing about the oil tanker. Hunt set up security mission.
The Iranian flag is now flying above the Stena Impero.
So this is about the Iranian flag is now flying against the Reverend Sparrow. So watch this.
In a clear sign that Tehran is doubling down.
Set up security mission.
State television has
I mean, the world is
footage
just
of the
getting
crew
ridiculous.
still on board the tanker and seemingly
You get the
good
problems in
spirits. But it's an awkward
Iran, you get the
watch
problems
with
in
force
Sudan,
in places.
in Africa, then the war's going to stop there. You get the
Because
problems
behind the smiles,
on
the
boats,
reality
people
is
blowing up,
that they are
people
not
are blowing
free
each other
to
up on
leave.
the seas.
This is a hostage video in every sense. The Foreign Secretary again described the interception as illegal and announced to the House of Commons that the UK was putting together a European-led maritime coalition to patrol the Gulf.
The new force will be focused on free navigation, bearing in mind that 1/5 of the world's oil, 1/4 of its liquefied natural gas, and trade worth $500 billion passes through the Strait of Hormuz every year.
The Royal Navy already has a frigate,
There's
HMS
one of the
Montrose, in
British
the Gulf, and a second warship,
boats going
HMS
through,
Dunlop, will
warships,
join her in a few days. But they need
Union
support.
Jack and the
Royal
England
Navy
flag.
doesn't have the resources anymore to do it alone.
What we're discovering is that, or have known all along, but it's now being made very clear to us, is you can only be in one place at a time. And when the strait is 90 plus nautical miles long, and add a bit more at either end for sort of sensible picking up points, you are automatically going to expose yourself if you only have one ship with one helicopter covering that mission.
I think the TV's just turned itself off, so give me a second. It annoys me when the TV decides to just do this. Turns itself off for no reason.
They could send to the region. The finer detail of the proposed coalition needs lining out. Who, for example, will command the mission? But it is understood that the French and Germans, amongst others,
They're talking about the French and Germans.
Noises about joining.
About joining.
The Iranian tanker Grace 1 remains anchored and impounded in Gibraltar's waters still.
They're in Gibraltar's
Britain has
waters.
said it will be released if Iran guarantees that it won't sell to unload its oil in Syria. It is a standoff now between London and Tehran.
So it's London and
More
Tehran.
countries
A standoff.
dragged into this crisis.
Most of the countries getting dragged into the crisis.
Sky News.
I'm trying to keep you guys up to date with the news. Most of you probably are. Let's see. This is what the violence is in many's leave. Women being kept as sex slaves, as you can see there. This is the British Army in, it looks like, Africa.
RAF helicopters are helping them shift troops and equipment around this region. They've been here a year now, and they've just had their stay extended by another 6 months. There are 4,500 French troops operating in this part of northern Mali, and they are fighting a conflict against Islamic extremism, including Islamic State in West Africa and Al-Qaeda. This is a new hotbed of terrorism, and if not controlled, it could threaten Western Europe. Into all this, Britain will send 250 troops to join a massive UN peacekeeping mission. The British will be operating in small teams at long range and on their own.
They will do a part of the heavy lifting. They will do operations in very contagious areas. They will do operations where we have a great degree of uncertainty. They will do operations.
There's so much war in this world, you guys got to understand. People would love war to stop, but it keeps happening and happening and happening and happening.
British forces have done anything like this. They will be the tip of the spear, and it won't be easy.
And the TV's just turned off again. The second time when I'm trying to film something. I do apologise, guys. The TV keeps turning off.
Thousands have escaped here from the fighting and the surrounding countryside. It is one of the poorest cities in the world, and it has become a prison for huge numbers of women trafficked here and forced into prostitution and slavery. Precious was toted away from Nigeria by empty promises of money. She was freed only a few days ago. We met her in hiding, and she explained how they marked her to stop her escaping.
She collected my fingernails, collected the hair from my pubic parts, from my armpits and from my hair. I was like, for what? In case, even after making the oath, I leave her. And they will use that against me.
She shows us the bruises on her legs.
Most times when I think about the beatings,
See, people shouldn't get beaten up for no reason at all. It's disgraceful. Just because they can't understand their point of view against somebody else. You know, they have a shit life, some people. But they shouldn't be taking out on others and using them as punching bags. It's horrible.
It was just the grace of our landlord that owns the place. She put my face into a bucket of water. For 30 minutes. It was the grace of the man that came and said, I want to see her.
Marley is in a desperate state.
People don't seem to understand the situations that are going on in this world. They say they do, but they don't. There's always something they're missing out on it. I'm doing these short videos, and once I've come back from the town centre tomorrow, I will be live streaming some gameplay, games and stuff. So moving on swiftly of that. This is a new Democrat leader.
When I was 17, and over the last 22 years, through all the ups and downs, Liberal Democrats have felt like a family to me. Conferences.
These people want to stop Brexit. I don't understand why. I want to leave the EU, doesn't most people, but they're not respecting the referendum of 2016. But these people say stop Brexit behind them. I don't agree with it. I want to leave the EU with a deal.
You have put your trust in me, not only to lead our party, but also to lead and grow the bigger, open, liberal movement that our country so desperately needs.
What our country desperately needs is to leave the EU with no deal. Then we don't have to pay the European Union anymore. Billions of bloody billions and billions of pounds and stuff. Euros. We don't need to pay the euros anymore. Would be nice, but that's never going to happen.
And when I look around this room, I can feel
the people like this woman that I'm pointing at are trying to make people stay in the EU. You see, us people are quite clever. We know what we want in our country. Unlike this woman here, they play a game. That's all it is a big game to them. Stay in the EU, don't stay in the EU, mess the people around the country, piss people off.
The two old parties have failed. Our party has been clear on Brexit from day one.
She's saying her party's being cleared on Brexit. How is her party clear? Nigel Farage wants to leave the EU, he says. Conservatives want to leave the EU. Then that flopped. Then Jeremy Corbyn wants a customs union. Second referendum. Then Jeremy Corbyn wouldn't back Theresa May's deal.
It's the Liberal Democrats who can lead the renewal our country needs. Together, we can build a better future. So
build a better future.
Thank you for joining me. Whether you are a lifelong Lib Dem or you are joining us for the first time today.
Talk rubbish like them Greeners people.
Without the support and love
she's just like another Labour.
Or without the pure joy that Andrew and Gabriel bring me.
Pro-Remainer, Labour, Lib Democrats, Tories.
And not a day went by on the campaign that I didn't think about my dad. He would have loved today. I want to...
I get the feeling they're loving this.
Incredible campaign team and the many, many volunteers who have helped us over the last few weeks and months. And I want to thank my team in Westminster and in Eastern Bartonshire. This is your victory too. It simply wouldn't have been possible without all of you. We all know that running elections...
Yes, it's going to be strong.
So thank you to the returning officer and the HQ staff who helped this election run smoothly. not least while fighting 2 parliamentary by-elections. And I especially want to thank Ed.
Because of that backstop of Northern Ireland's kept us in all this long. We couldn't make a decision on that. The Northern Ireland people don't want the Troubles again. It's all they're bothered about is these governments is doing what they want to do. They don't help the people. They say they're helping the people, but they're not really. They're just helping themselves. That's how it feels to a lot of people. I could be wrong, and people will say disagree with me, but they are.
Campaigns are hard. Constant scrutiny, constant pressure, endless travel.
Going
endless
around in a
hustling,
fucking circle with
so
this
much
Brexit.
time away from loved
There's
ones.
no way out
I
of it.
know Ed and I have both felt this as we have toured the country from Aberdeen to Plymouth and seemingly everywhere in between. Ed has carried himself with grace throughout and never lost his passion nor his sense of
They
humour.
make you laugh, really, because they don't know even how to run their own country. You need somebody that knows what they're doing, like Donald Trump in his own country. He knows what to do. These people in this country haven't got a fucking clue. Mess people around, talk shit, go around in a circle, say we're doing something, then do the opposite.
Which I admit didn't always make for the most exciting contest. I'm proud.
Imagining we're leaving the country, then we're not leaving. It's all a fucking game to them.
Run clean campaigns, focusing on the
And a lot of
issues
people are
that
sick and
matter.
tired of Brexit and seeing it on the TV. They just want to leave with a deal. Respect the referendum. But they can't fucking do it. They'd rather piss around doing this sort of crap. Oh, we're good you picked us. Oh, you picked us. Oh, we make the country better. Oh. Next year, still in the same fucking thing.
When I decided to stand for the leadership, I did so thinking the challenge facing our party would be a very different one. We were stubbornly at around 8% in the polls. New parties were springing up, courting Lib Dem votes. It seemed that the first task I would face as leader would be to ensure our very survival.
Yeah, but I just wanted to.
A turnaround. Our best set of local elections ever. More MEPs than
It's
ever
time
before.
all us people would make a stand to our referendum. If we don't make a stand, they're just going to keep doing this. Pro-Remainers, man. Which side do you choose? Some people may ask.
And for that, I pay tribute to my 2 most immediate predecessors. Tim, for taking that brave decision in the wake of the referendum to say unequivocally that we are the party of Remain.
Yeah, say pro-Remain.
For your
You guys have just heard what she said. Remain. Don't want to leave the EU, too scared.
Reason in unreasonable times. Vince,
Sometimes
you
you've got to make a chance in life.
and our country
But they can't do that, they're too scared.
decades.
People like this talk rubbish. Running the country, oh, they don't like to do different things. If we traded with other countries, that'd be great. France can fish in our own seas and take some of our fish. The UK can fish in our seas, but we have to throw so much fish back in. I want England to be England again, but it's not. People like pro-Remain don't know how to run the country at all, in my opinion.
I know that I have some pretty big shoes to fill. Whether that's Vince's ballroom shoes or Vin Campbell's Olympic running spikes. Or Nick Clegg, who put the country first at a time of national crisis and showed that Liberal Democrats can make a real difference.
No, of course you can make a real difference. Pro-Remain. Don't want to leave the EU. Just as bad as bloody Labour. Want to stay in the EU.
In the opinion polls to a credible political
See if Boris Johnson was on the job. See if he can do any better. Are we going to leave the 31st of October the EU, or are we going to stay in? Is it just all talk and all lies again?
And whose sincerity endeared him to millions.
Oh yeah.
And how much we all miss Paddy and Charles today.
Yeah, that was a load of rubbish, in my opinion. You know, Boris Johnson should do a good job. I mean...
Let's start with the Tories, Gary. What's cooking?
What's cooking? I'm going to go on this video in a minute. I'm just filming a video, Vampire, there. First person. Right. So, don't call me on my phone because I need to film this video. I'm letting you know, yeah?
Right.
So if you want to know where I am, just message me because I just want to do this video. I like doing these videos. They're very interesting. Right.
Well, as you were saying, you have Sarah Duncan, a prominent supporter of Jeremy Hunt.
So they're talking about Jeremy Hunt now.
Senior supporters of Boris Johnson going around. They think he's going to get a big mandate tomorrow, they're saying. But
Boris Johnson talking about? I mean, hopefully he's the job for the UK. He'll make it good. But the thing is, they like to mess people around in this sort of business.
Call an emergency debate. If 40 MPs supported him, it could have been voted on tomorrow, which of course is the day we actually get the result of the ballot. This was an attempt to head off Boris Johnson at the pass, an extraordinary thing to be doing, and preceded by something that's pretty extraordinary in itself, this sort of pre-resignation. It's not something people normally do. You wait for the new incumbent to come in and decide who they want in their administration. This is all sign of the disarray and the potential menace that awaits Boris Johnson when he eventually gets into number 10, as we expect on Wednesday.
No menace, it seems, is going to stalk Joe Swinson, although some people in the Liberal Democrats may perceive it as a very slight drift to the right, as opposed to where Davey was seen as slightly left of her.
Well, I think where that perception comes from is a really interesting part of this contest. Ed Davey at the beginning sounded like he was going to try and run it as a more tribal campaign. We're the Liberal Democrats, we stand where we are, if other people want to join us, they can. And Joe Swinson was going to run it with a slightly more sort of porous contours of this party. We must adapt and, if necessary, work with other parties, maybe even adapt slightly our name and our title, something like that, if it helps to secure the centre ground. In the end, Ed Davey,
so they keep saying, stop Brexit. We need to leave a deal. Would be nice.
About 2/3 of the members have come in since the referendum. They haven't got all of them the same obsessions, as it were, of the traditional Lib Dems. They're utterly focused on Brexit, and in the end, they've got someone who says she too is utterly focused on Brexit. This is how.
Yeah, we've all been focused on Brexit for ages, months and bloody months.
The temporary base for Boris Johnson's planning team, a new magnet for protest. Some ministers are making their own
Star Wars
Boris Johnson gestures, preemptive resignations just before he sacks them. Sir Alan Duncan went even further, quitting as a Foreign Office Minister today, but then trying to trigger a confidence vote in Boris Johnson as soon as tomorrow. The Speaker ruled he couldn't, whereas Johnson was spared an extraordinary ambush. This was an attempt to cut him off the legs before he got into number 10.
It's an attempt to test it, because I think we're in a climate where these things have to be tested.
And you're worried that there could be a constitutional crisis, if not this week, some week soon?
Yeah, I mean, it could even be on Thursday if Labour table a motion of no confidence, but I think that they will leave it till later in order to inflict greater damage.
And you think there are enough of your colleagues?
Stupid Labour. Jeremy Corbyn is a pain in the arse.
With Labour in a vote of no confidence in a Boris Johnson-led government. You don't rule that out?
I have no way of knowing, and nobody does.
Hardly soothing noises for those inside Boris Johnson's temporary headquarters. The Lib Dems' outgoing leader passed by, on his way to see who was going to succeed him and join the changing faces at the top of British politics.
I am delighted, honoured, absolutely over the moon.
Now, most of these people are just fucking brainwashed. Most of them don't even probably know what day it is. They don't know what the fucking home life is. Fucking thing,
I
anyway.
stand before you today, not just as the leader of
I stand for you today. I just want to do my country. I want to be pro-Remain. Fuck you, get out here, you there.
Confidence is in part driven by polling for this year, suggesting that the Conservative
Give the country a chance to build.
Around 20%. By contrast, support for the Brexit Party has soared And the Lib Dems too.
Brexit Party, yep. Nigel Farage knows what he's talking about. He's got sense.
The current picture, that was a sort of 2020 split in the electorate, extraordinary things could happen.
You could be not just parity with another party, one of the main parties, but ahead of it, you think?
Yes.
Do they really look like that they're on the cusp of an amazing moment when they get to or close to a three-figure number of seats? Or does that really stretch the imagination?
In order to get to three figures, the Lib Dems would have to win a lot of Remain-leaving constituencies, and they'd have to win those not just from Labour, but also from the Conservatives as well. Now, against the Conservatives, that could be a possibility in areas like London. But further afield and against Labour opponents, I think that's a really difficult ask.
We believe
We
the
believe.
UK's best future is as members of the European Union, and that's why, as your leader,
Keep
I will
believing.
do whatever it takes to stop Brexit.
See, she said it out of her mouth, guys.
Dems now have Bill
Stop
Clinton's
Brexit.
former pollster Stan Greenberg advising. He says to reap rewards.
That won't go down
voters,
well with the people that voted to
Dems
leave.
must deal with
Leave with a deal.
party that delivered austerity.
Stupid woman.
I've not dealt with any party that's been successful in reforming itself, modernizing itself, and growing and becoming sustainable.
You do it, yeah. Stop this Brexit now.
Austerity.
Stupid woman.
Look, austerity is the block for me in terms of my, thinking that the liberal.
The more they make us stay in the EU, the more people are going to get pissed off and annoyed. Just going around in a circle, not getting anywhere.
Helped to end her premiership, but taking a little hospitality off the outgoing Prime Minister tonight. The departing Foreign Office Minister was gazing into the near future. Do you now expect this to end in an early general election? Is that one of your central guesses?
Yeah, I think we're
I can't understand why they want to drag this on, to be honest with you guys. I don't know if you guys are in the same boat. Just want to keep pushing it and pushing it and push it. Just leave with a deal.
If he does, I think it would go terribly wrong. Four-way splits, and I think it would be a mess.
His attempt to stop Boris Johnson even getting into number 10 may have floundered. But the man expecting to be crowned leader tomorrow is not looking like he's going to get one moment of the political honeymoon new leaders normally bank on.
Bloody hell. World we're living. It just gets more and more toxic, this country, and then probably other places in the world, that they just don't have a clue. They really don't listen to what is going on.
This emergency couldn't have come at a worse time for the UK, and the ministers who left the crisis meeting all know it. Apart from anything else, there'll be a new Prime Minister this week, probably with a different take on the situation. Still, the UK can't do nothing in the face of what it regards as a provocation by Iran, the way in which the capture of the UK flagged tanker was filmed by the commandos who took control of it, the refusal to obey the demands of the British.
They just want to keep annoying people.
To let the tanker go.
I know I'm moaning a lot, guys, but this is how I feel. A lot of other people feel the same way when the world's going.
When Britannia ruled the waves. Consequently, the Foreign Secretary told Parliament that the UK would seek a European-led maritime mission to the Gulf, because Iran had to understand the consequences of its actions.
So if Iran continues on this dangerous path,
Jeremy Hunt's
they
speech.
must accept the price will be a larger Western military presence in the waters along their coastline, not because we wish to increase tensions, but simply because freedom of navigation is a principle which Britain and its allies will always defend.
But the British government has been widely accused by many MPs of having no.
This is how it's going to be in the world.
Let alone the naval firepower to protect tankers in the Gulf.
Now, there are concerns that this administration has taken its eye off the ball, and certainly that the UK has been ill prepared for this.
Iran certainly appears not to feel intimidated by the UK, putting out images of the tanker crew, none of them British, maintaining they are all in good health and being looked after. It is far more concerned about getting its own tanker back from Gibraltar, where it remains impounded. If the UK did that, the crisis would be over, but it would be the wrong signal to send to the Americans, who continue to pressurise London to follow their harsher line with Tehran. By Wednesday, there'll be a new Prime Minister here. By Thursday, a new set of government ministers, and by Friday, very possibly, a new strategy towards Iran. It may be a more hawkish one than the one on Monday, and one which is more aligned to the American position. But Iran knows that the UK appears quite weak at the moment, and by itself does not have the strength for a fight. Lawrence Lee, Al Jazeera.
Well, this is how it is. Absolutely ridiculous. Just thinking, guys. Breathing heavily, thinking what else to show, or I might just wrap this up with a video. I've done 2 videos today anyway, so. Tear gas in Hong Kong, protesting 1 day ago. So if you guys are in Hong Kong or have been there, this is just an advert on the TV. Stupid advert. I don't like adverts on the TV, they piss me off. So basically, this is protesting in Hong Kong.
After the march, the fight. Once again, Hong Kong's air is thick with tear gas.
See, you can all see across the world people are annoyed about things. It's not kicking off in one place in the world, it's kicking off in a lot of places.
We will keep fighting. Although we may get out today, but every week, maybe every day, every week, we will come out, march, and fight for what we want. Just the democracy and freedom and our human rights.
See, Hong Kong wants its country back. So does the UK. Most of us do.
Protesters and press. But almost 2 months of demonstrations have hardened this resistance and strengthened their resolve.
Police have been pushing this crowd back for hours, and there are still thousands on the streets. They're shouting, "Liberate Hong Kong." They're calling for revolution.
A battle against an extradition bill has now become a fight for full democracy, freedom from a Beijing-backed government. The action started earlier when groups barricaded roads. This driver was attacked when he tried to push back. For others who were trapped, it was a worrying change in tone.
I think today is a bit of a landmark. I've been here 40 years. This is the first time it's touched me. It's been anti-focus. I don't know why they're in Central right now. They're not even Central. This is a highway to Park Fulham. You know, it's Sunday night. What's going on? Why is this van being smashed? I have no idea.
What's going through your mind when you see this?
Stay calm. Keep my kids in the car calm. You know, Hong Kong's an amazing place. These people have just the most amazing right to fight for Hong Kong. So I'm behind them, but at the same time, I want to get my kids home.
But hundreds of thousands in this city are still choosing peaceful protest. A hunger striker urges the crowds to keep going. This is Angel and her toddler's 5th march.
With a small child, I think this is still at least something that I can do. And the more the government wants us to give up, because it drag on the policy and everything and the responses, the more I think we need to stand firm.
The clashes and confrontation that started about a bill have now evolved. They will not back down. They cannot stop. Because
Good on them, they keep fighting.
Last chance to save Hong Kong. Siobhan Robbins,
That's what I say.
Sky News, Hong Kong.
Fight for their country. Right. See what this is about.
Brooker Brecon and Radnorshire, home to the Brecon Beacons, Offansdyke, and more sheep than people. It's larger than any other seat in England and Wales. But this rural constituency is about to pose a major headache for the next Prime Minister, just a week into the new job, when voters go to the polls in a by-election the Conservatives could lose. The Tory candidate Chris Davis won here with a majority of 8,000 last time, but a by-election was triggered after he was found guilty of making a false expense claim.
What I did was make a mistake in my admin. Clearly that was nearly 4 years ago as a new MP. There was no financial gain, there was no financial intent to gain, and it was purely an admin error.
The Brexit Party
Change policies for goods and Brexit Party.
Nigel Farage asked me to stand in this by-election, and I wouldn't have said yes unless I thought we had a reasonable chance. So we'll see. The Liberal Democrats are well prepared. They've been working on this for ages, but I think we've got a reasonable chance, and we're getting good reception on the doorstep.
It's a constituency that Labour
Nice place to be peaceful there and see the countryside.
Third place last time.
Some Labour MPs in your party have suggested that Jeremy Corbyn is a hindrance on the doorstep. How does he go down in this constituency?
I think with any leader, there is obviously the section of the public that don't get on with them and do get on with them. That's the same.
He's talking about Labour Party.
We've been finding. There's a lot of support for him out there, and very few who aren't that keen. There are some, but then we had that with Ed Miliband, Gordon Brown, Tony Blair. It is the same situation.
The clear challengers and frontrunners are the Liberal Democrats. They held this seat between 1997 and 2015, and their candidate is keen to make sure the campaign isn't all about Brexit.
I want out, I've got to be honest, but local, I vote for you because I want you. I want Liberals. I want Liberals here, like it has been in the past.
Jane Dodds's chances have been boosted by the decision by Plaid Cymru and the Greens to stand down and support her candidacy as part of the Remain alliance.
We really welcome their decision to stand aside. It's a very courageous thing for them to do, and we can see that potentially this may be something we can look at going forward, that there may be an opportunity to talk on other progressive issues in the future.
So you'd be happy to see Lib Dem standing down in other seats then?
We will see as we move forward. My concentration here is on Brecon and Radnorshire.
So what do people in Brecon make of this controversial by-election?
I don't think that the Tories should be standing at all with their current candidate.
Because he forged the expenses?
Absolutely, yeah. So, just hope that people vote tactically, whether they're Lib or Labour. I think we just got to vote Liberal to get the Tories out.
Probably Lib Dems are going to get in. Yeah, I don't think Labour's ever going to get in here, because it's more like a Conservative. But I think Brexit Party is going to do quite well here, which is concerning for me, because I'm like Labour.
Who are you going to be voting for?
Labour.
Labour.
Definitely Labour.
I'm hoping democracy is served, basically, and that means that a vote that was taken 2.5 years ago, nearly 3 years ago, is honoured, because that's what's needed in this country at the moment. There's a democracy deficit. It's about time to put that right.
You mean Brexit?
Fundamentally, yes. Brexit needs to be delivered.
What happens here in Brecon matters. It could reduce the fragile Conservative working majority to just 3. And if the Remain alliance is successful, it could be a blueprint for an election that could come sooner rather than later. Sophie Ridge, Sky News.
Well, a total of 6 candidates are standing in the Brecon and Radnorshire by-election on August the 1st. Sky News will have the results and bring you reaction on the day.
Well.
Peggy 18.
Finally, open for business.
This is a new GTA 5 Casino DLC.
A wonderful place to relax.
This is out tomorrow, the 3rd of July.
I'm gonna lay my cards.
An expensive update though.
Want to buy this place, but first they need to destroy it.
Do I look like I make appointments, bro? I am the appointment! Champagne, anyone?
Diamonds Casino, July the 23rd. PS4, Xbox One, PC tomorrow. Rockstar.
whoever walks through the door to number 10 at all.
So yeah, I think I'll leave it at this video, guys. Hope you've all enjoyed it. Please like, comment, subscribe, share these videos with your friends, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you in the next one, guys. Peace. See you later, guys.